As an ex-president, the world's expectations for you will be undeniably high, setting the bar not only in the houses you live in, but even in the vacations you go on. In this video, I will be taking you on a journey that gives an in-depth look into the trillionaire life of Barack Obama. We'll explore the substantial wealth he has amassed, unravel the secrets behind his financial success, and venture far beyond the realms of politics and affluence. Net worth. Before getting to an in-depth detail of his life, let's talk about how he has managed to build his empire, and how he is keeping up with the lifestyle he had been introduced to as president now that he's no longer one. For some of you might think that Barack Obama's wealth accumulation began only when he assumed the role of President of the United States. Well, that is far from the truth. To understand the origins of his financial success, we must cast our gaze back to the early 2000s. In 2004, well before his historic presidential tenure, Barack Obama earned a relatively modest salary of $80,287 as a member of the Illinois Senate. He was actively promoting the interests of his constituents and putting forth great effort to improve Illinois during this time, demonstrating his progress in politics and public service. That was not the only thing pulling funds for him as of 2004. He had an additional stream of income. He was an educator who was sharing his knowledge and expertise with the next generation of legal minds at the University of Chicago Law School. His take-home for his contributions was $32,144. In addition to his salaries and earnings from his work in the Illinois Senate and at the University of Chicago Law School, Barack Obama also diversified his financial portfolio through various investments. It would be weird not to have investments, right? Well, he had holdings in 3 distinct assets, one of which was the Vanguard Wellington Fund. These investments were valued between $100,000 and $200,000. Entering the literary world in 2005 was a major turning point in Barack Obama's financial career. 2005 will be a year to remember for him, as he secured a huge bag that included a multi-book deal with the renowned publishing house Random House. The next question would be, how big was the bag? The ex-president was said to have received a substantial $1.9 million advance after January 2005 for his forthcoming book, The Audacity of Hope. This book, which would later become a bestseller, not only earned him a substantial advance but also promised ongoing royalties. The book had quite an impact as it remained on the New York Times bestseller list for the 30 weeks since publication. The audiobook version also won the 2008 Grammy Award for Best Spoken Word Album. We can say that he definitely didn't disappoint Random House. In addition to the substantial advance for The Audacity of Hope, Barack Obama also received just over $847,000 that year from another book advance for his earlier work, Dreams from My Father. This memoir provided an intimate glimpse into his personal and familial history. He talked about his early days before his entry into Harvard Law School. You see, in the realm of publishing, a book's success is determined not only by its initial advance, but also by the ongoing royalties it produces. In Obama's case, he didn't disappoint, as he was able to earn $378,237 from additional book royalties in 2005. He still continued to reap the financial reward of his books in the following year as his memoir generated substantial income, with book royalties amounting to a little less than $150,000. Then, The Audacity of Hope was able to accumulate an impressive $425,000 in royalties. By 2007, his book royalties totaled almost $3.3 million. Meanwhile, he was able to get a couple of dollars that almost totaled $816,000 from Distel and Amp Goderic, another literary agency. This income was related to Dreams from My Father and likely encompassed a combination of royalties and contractual arrangements associated with the book. He further dabbled into investments. That same year, he acquired U.S. Treasury notes, which are often considered low-risk and stable investments, with a value falling between $500,000 and $1 million. He also made a forward-looking financial move by investing in 2 529 college savings plans for his daughters, each valued between $50,000 and $100,000 to start. In 2008, when Obama was elected president, he owned somewhere between $1.1 million and $5.1 million in U.S. Treasury bills. Then, after he became president, Obama won the Nobel Peace Prize, which came with a $1.4 million award. He actually donated it all to a number of different charities. Fast forward to his earnings in the Oval Office. From 2009 to 2015, Obama earned $400,000 a year as president and continued to earn book royalties as well as interest on his investments. His life after the Oval Office will see him earn $200,000 annually in pensions. After leaving the office, he has been able to monetize his presence and charge as much as $400,000 for public speaking engagements. At the end of the day, the pension would probably not cut their finances, which is why he had to cut some deals that would bring in more cash. In 2018, the Obamas dabbled into film production, founded Higher Ground Productions, and signed a production deal with Netflix. While in 2020, Barack Obama released his latest book, A Promised Land. The book is part of an exclusive $65 million deal that also included Michelle Obama's memoir. The book turned out to be a success, selling nearly 890,000 copies within 24 hours. With Higher Ground Productions, they were able to sign a multi-year deal with Netflix, and later in 2022, Higher Ground Productions signed an exclusive worldwide, multi-project, multi-year first-look deal with Audible. Altogether, his best-selling book Audacity of Hope and children's book of Thee I Sing, A Letter to My Daughters have brought in $8.8 million for him. After he arrived in the nation's capital, sales of his 1995 memoir Dreams from My Father took off as well, giving the president a windfall of $6.8 million. Obama received government salaries totaling an additional $3.7 million. Although his earnings saw a decline as he took over the Oval Office, he still had been able to accumulate quite a lot. His earnings started at $5.6 million in 2009, before dropping to $450,000 by 2015, as royalties from his books declined. All these and many other investments and dealings have summed up to give him a net worth of $70 million. Early life and education. Barack Obama's early life and education is a multifaceted journey that shaped the man who would later become the 44th President of the United States. Born on August 4, 1961 at Kapiolani Medical Center in Honolulu, Hawaii, he was the son of a Kenyan father, Barack Obama Sr., and an American mother, Ann Dunham. Obama's father, also named Barack Hussein Obama, grew up in a small village in Nyanza Province, Kenya, as a member of the Luo ethnicity. He won a scholarship to study economics at the University of Hawaii, where he met Anne in a Russian language class and got interested in her. The couple married in Wailuku, Hawaii on February 2, 1961, 6 months before Obama was born. A few years later, Obama's parents went their separate ways. In 1964, Barack Obama Sr. went back to Kenya, where he got married a third time and held a position as senior economic analyst in the Ministry of Finance for the Kenyan government. Before his death, he wasn't so much in touch with his son physically, as he visited his son in Hawaii only once, at Christmas 1971, before he was killed in an automobile accident in 1982 when Obama was 21 years old. Before the death of his father, his mother met another man, Lolo Soetoro, at the University of Hawaii. He was an Indonesian East-West Center graduate student in geography. The couple married on Molokai on March 15, 1965. 16 months after Barack's stepfather returned to Indonesia, his wife and stepson followed. In the beginning, the family resided in South Jakarta's Tibet district's Menteng Dalam neighborhood. They later moved to a more affluent area in central Jakarta's Menteng district after 1970. At the time they moved to Indonesia, Obama was 6 years old. From age 6 to 10, he was registered in school as Barry, not Barack, and attended local Indonesian language schools, supplemented by English language Calvert School homeschooling by his mother. His 4 years in Jakarta allowed him to speak Indonesian fluently when he was a young child. Sources revealed that Obama received resilience training and a pretty hard-headed assessment of how the world works from his stepfather while he was living in Indonesia. At age 10, Obama returned to Hawaii to live with his maternal grandparents. He went to the prestigious private Punahou School, where he first became aware of the conflicts arising from his mixed-race upbringing, as he detailed in his 1995 memoir, Dreams from My Father. Barack Obama lived with his mother and half-sister, Maya Soetoro, in Hawaii from 1972 to 1975. During this time, his mother pursued a graduate degree in anthropology at the University of Hawaii. His mother continued to live in Indonesia for the next 2 decades as she earned her PhD in 1992. Sadly for him, she passed away in Hawaii in 1995 after an unsuccessful battle with ovarian and uterine cancer. After graduating from high school in 1979, Barack Obama moved to Los Angeles and enrolled at Occidental College on a full scholarship. During his time at Occidental, he became increasingly involved in social and political issues, probably where the politician in him got fired up. In February 1981, he made his first public speech advocating for Occidental to participate in the disinvestment from South Africa as a response to the country's policy of apartheid. He then transferred to Columbia University in New York City later that year as a junior, living off campus on West 109th Street and majoring in political science with an emphasis on international relations and English literature. He graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in 1983 and a 3.7 GPA. Following graduation, Obama worked as a financial researcher and writer for the Business International Corporation for approximately a year. In 1985, he spent 3 months on the City College of New York campus as the project coordinator for the New York Public Interest Research Group. 2 years after completing his education at Columbia, Barack Obama relocated from New York to Chicago in order to work as the director of the Developing Communities Project. This faith-based community organization initially comprised 8 Catholic parishes in the neighborhoods of Roseland, West Pullman, and Riverdale on Chicago's South Side. Obama served as a community organizer for this project from June 1985 to May 1988. That same year, Barack Obama embarked on a significant journey that took him to Europe for 3 weeks, and then to Kenya for 5 weeks. This trip allowed him to connect with many of his paternal relatives in Kenya for the first time, providing him with valuable insights and experiences that would influence his future path in life and politics. Still in 1988, Barack Obama, despite receiving a full scholarship to Northwestern University School of Law, decided to enroll at Harvard Law School in the fall of 1988. He resided in nearby Somerville, Massachusetts. At Harvard, he achieved remarkable success, becoming an editor of the Harvard Law Review at the end of his first year and eventually serving as the journal's president in his second year. Additionally, he worked as a research assistant for constitutional scholar Lawrence Tribe during his time at Harvard. He graduated magna cum laude from Harvard Law School in 1991. In 1991, Obama took on a 2-year role as a visiting law and government fellow at the University of Chicago Law School, dedicating his time to work on his first book. He later transitioned into teaching constitutional law at the same institution, holding positions as a lecturer from 1992 to 1996, and then as a senior lecturer from 1996 to 2004. His work experience and how he was able to become a force to be reckoned with in politics would be talked about much later in the video. Rounding up what his childhood looked like, Obama cherished his years in Honolulu, highlighting the opportunities Hawaii offered to experience diverse cultures in an atmosphere of mutual respect. This experience strongly influenced his worldview and the values he held dear. In addition, in his reflections on his early years, he has stated that he was not particularly aware of the stark contrast between his mother's white skin and his father's black skin. In his early adulthood, he struggled to reconcile the way society saw his mixed-race background. Lastly, he also put into writing how he used alcohol, marijuana, and cocaine during his teenage years as a way to escape questions about his identity. He was also a member of the Tune Gang, which means smoking marijuana. It was a self-named group of friends who occasionally smoked marijuana together. Political career and presidency. Before his defining chapter as the first African-American president, he held various political offices that reflected his willingness to serve the people. In the mid-1980s, Barack Obama relocated to Chicago, where his political career really took off. In his capacity as a community organizer, he worked on problems including tutoring programs, job training, and tenants' rights in impoverished areas. This experience laid the groundwork for his commitment to public service and community empowerment. Then, shortly after studying law at Harvard, Obama returned to Chicago and continued his work in public service. His roles as a lecturer and senior lecturer at the University of Chicago Law School allowed him to teach constitutional law, further shaping his understanding of the legal and political systems. Obama oversaw Project Vote, an Illinois voter registration initiative that employed 700 volunteer registrars and 10 staff members from April to October 1992. The program was successful in registering 150,000 of the 400,000 African Americans in the state who were not yet registered, earning Obama a spot on Crain's Chicago Business 1993 list of 40 under 40 influential people. In 1996, his first big role in politics came when he was elected to the Illinois State Senate, where he served for 8 years. His time in the state legislature allowed him to work on important issues such as ethics reform and healthcare expansion. His success in Illinois laid the foundation for his aspirations at the national level. In 2004, Barack Obama achieved a historic victory when he was elected to the United States Senate, just as he gave the keynote address at the Democratic National Convention in July 2004. His charisma and oratory skills gained him national recognition. In his speech, Obama skillfully connected his personal story to the idea that all Americans share common bonds that go beyond political, cultural, and geographical divisions. This speech gave him a boost in his memoir that wasn't so popular before and made it a bestseller. It also also catapulted him into a prominent position within his political party after he assumed office the next year. In 2007, Barack Obama announced his candidacy for the presidency. After 4 years of serving in the Senate, Obama resigned his Senate seat in November 2008 to focus on his transition period for the presidency. He faced a tough primary battle against Hillary Clinton, ultimately securing the Democratic nomination. In November 2008, Barack Obama made history by becoming the first African American to be elected President of the United States. His victory was a symbol of progress in a country with a history of racial divisions. Millions celebrated his inauguration in January 2009, eager to see the change he had promised. Barack Obama's presidency began amid significant challenges. The country was in the midst of the worst economic downturn since the Great Depression. Obama's administration worked tirelessly to address the financial crisis through measures like the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, which aimed to stimulate the economy and create jobs. During his tenure, he was able to reduce unemployment drastically. One of Obama's signature achievements during his first term was the passage of the Affordable Care Act, often referred to as Obamacare. The healthcare reform law aimed to increase access to healthcare and regulate insurance practices. It was met with both praise and opposition, setting the stage for ongoing debates about healthcare in America. In foreign policy, Obama sought to end the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan responsibly. His administration's approach to counterterrorism included the successful operation to eliminate Osama bin Laden, the alleged mastermind behind the September 11th attacks. A year after he became president, Barack Obama was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, a recognition of his vision for a more harmonious world. But just as you would expect, not everyone was satisfied with his approach. Left-wing critics contended that he had not only adopted but also escalated many of the war and national security policies of his predecessor. Obama himself acknowledged the complexities of the world. As he humbly accepted the Nobel Prize in December, he reminded the world that evil does exist and that there are moments when nations must regrettably wield force as a moral imperative. In 2012, Barack Obama was re-elected for a second term as president. His administration continued to address domestic and international challenges, including efforts to combat climate change and nuclear proliferation. The president also pursued immigration reform, which faced considerable political hurdles. Throughout his presidency, Barack Obama faced significant challenges, including a polarized political landscape and resistance from Congress on various issues. His use of executive orders to advance his agenda often drew criticism from opponents. Still, Obama accomplished a number of noteworthy goals while he was president. The unemployment rate dropped as the American economy emerged from the depths of the 2008 recession. Additionally, during his administration, same-sex marriage was made legal and the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy was cancelled, both of which were significant advances for LGBTQ+ rights. Barack Obama left a lasting legacy in American politics and society as his presidency came to an end in 2017. Many were inspired by his vision of change and hope, and he became well known for his ability to relate to a wide range of American demographics. Since leaving the presidency, Barack and Michelle Obama have continued their work in various areas, including education, healthcare, and social justice. As of when he left the office in January 2017, Obama's approval rating stood at 60%. He rose 10 places from the Brookings Institution's 2015 survey, which placed him as the 18th greatest American president. 18 out of 44 presidents doesn't sound bad to me. He also scored a 63% approval rating in Gallup's 2018 job approval survey, which covered the previous 10 US presidents. Barack's extravagant life. With a net worth of $70 million and the affairs of the country off his shoulders, Obama definitely had a lot of adventures to take and mansions to buy. Obviously, they had to move out of the White House. All these and how he spends his millions will be talked about in the course of the video. Firstly, they had to settle their housing situation, so the Obamas opted for the purchase of an 200-square-foot mansion in Washington for $8.1 million after previously renting it. The home is not short on luxury, as it has 9 bedrooms and 8.5 bathrooms. As of when they purchased the apartment, it was the second most expensive in the neighborhood. The entrance of the house shows that it is a historic building with modern upgrades. Walking into the house, you will be met with a cozy foyer, then a hall that walks you into the living room with a fireplace. Then there is the sitting room, which has floor-to-ceiling windows that offer enchanting views of the backyard. Inside, you'll discover not one but 2 fully equipped kitchens. The primary kitchen, an inviting space, is adorned with top-of-the-line stainless steel appliances and sumptuous marble countertops. The master suite, where grandeur meets comfort, easily accommodates a king-size bed, providing a retreat for rejuvenation and relaxation. Among the 8 other lavishly appointed bedrooms, 2 are reserved for the Obama's daughters, Sasha and Malia. The apartment also has a powder room, a dressing room, an exercise room, a walk-in closet, wine storage, gardens, and many other interesting amenities. As time went on, the Obama family purchased another home. Martha's Vineyard has long been an annual escape for the Obama family, even during their White House years. This luxurious abode boasts 7 bedrooms, an impressive 8.5 baths, and the warm ambience of several stone fireplaces. There's a convenient 2-car garage as well as a detached barn for additional storage, and when it's time to cool off or relax, there is a swimming pool for that. The pool area is surrounded by trees that makes you appreciate nature. However, this property's true charm is found in its proximity to nature. With direct access to the pond, a boathouse, and a private beachfront with deeded rights, the Obamas can bask in the beauty of Martha's Vineyard. If you need time away from people, there is a raised sun deck where one can just enjoy the views of the vineyard. The interior of the Obama house is thoughtfully designed with entertainment in mind. The expansive kitchen and a dining room graced by sweeping bay views set the stage for unforgettable gatherings. The family room offers ample space for relaxation and is adorned with architectural details that infuse the house with character. One cannot ignore the stunning galleried living space with windows on 3 sides that shows the island's natural light and breathtaking scenes in the home. Even the bedrooms, adorned with panoramic bay views, provide a connection to the surrounding beauty. With rooms furnished with bunk beds, there's no shortage of space for friends and family to enjoy this retreat. Apart from their mansions, they do know how to vacation well, and when they do it in style. The Obamas' most recent vacation took them to Greece, where the family was spotted enjoying a historical tour and the breathtaking Grecian scenery. They were with fellow tourists as they explored the rich history and captivating backdrop of Greece. The Obamas have also been seen vacationing in Bali, as they were seen at Indonesian attractions like Tampaxiring Village and the Jatiluwih rice terraces. Their vacationing portfolio is rather large, and we'll just be talking about a few in this video. Lastly, let's take a look at the gifts he received from different individuals of the same caliber while he was still in the White House. First, we have the gift from Abdullah bin Abd al-Aziz Al Saud, King of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. He gifted the then president a large desert scene on a green-veined marble base featuring miniature figurines of gold palm trees and camels, a large gold medallion with the royal seal in a green leather display box, and a large brass and glass clock by Jaeger LeCoultre in a green leather display case, which had an estimated value of $34,000. After this, the king still gave them gifts that included jewelry, watches, and all sorts, with an estimated value of $1.4 million in 2011. Secondly, His Excellency Hu Jintao, President of the People's Republic of China, gifted him a wooden frame and matted fine silk embroidery depicting a portrait study of the first family, with an estimated value of $20,000. The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom sent him a $16,510 black and gold pen with a wooden pen holder made from the wood of the HMS Gannet in Chatham, a book entitled Churchill and America by Martin Gilbert, a book entitled Churchill, A Life by Martin Gilbert, and a book set entitled Biography of Winston S. Churchill by Martin Gilbert. His Excellency Silvio Berlusconi, President of the Council of Ministers of the Italian Republic, sent him a book entitled I vetri di Archimede Seguso dal 1950 al 1959, a pair of blown glass candle holders and a glass fruit bowl with an estimated value of $14,445. He also gifted him a Francesco Basile gold watch with an estimated value of $6,400 and a large crystal table featuring an image of the American flag. The estimated value of this gift is $6,000. His Excellency, the President of Israel, Shimon Peres, sent a bronze statue of a girl releasing a flock of doves with an estimated value of $8,000. The gift from His Holiness, Pope Benedict XVI of the Holy See, includes a gilt-framed mosaic depicting St. Peter's Square, a decorative gold coin with an inscription, 2 books and a silver keychain. The estimated value of this gift is $7,905. His Excellency Jakaya Kikwete, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, presented a gift of a 3-foot-tall hand-carved ebony wooden sculpture. The estimated value of this gift is $6,000. And lastly, His Excellency Raymond A. Joseph, the Ambassador of the Republic of Haiti, presented 2 artworks as gifts: a 3x3 framed portrait of the President and First Lady by Petit Bois Enseneur, and a 5x5 portrait of the President by the same artist. The estimated value of these gifts is $4,025. That wraps up our video for today, and I hope you found it as engaging as I did. For more captivating content, simply click on any of the cards on your screen.